Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new video here on the channel. And on today's stream, I should say, we are back with, of course, another very cool episode here talking about the Bitcoin price action, about the Bitcoin development, about what we're currently seeing in this market basically. And if I go over this, guys, it is starting to look very interesting because finally we've been waiting so long for Bitcoin to really choose a direction where it has to be breaking towards. And it does look like right now, and of course there are some things I have to talk about because it's not my most perfect breakout, guys. I do see some things like the volume that I really want to be a little bit higher, but if we are looking at the charts, we can right now see that Bitcoin is forming a clear bullish breakout right now. And of course, I will be going over the price target we're currently going to be aiming for. I will be talking about the retest we got on this market because yes, the retest of this symmetrical triangle breakout has been pretty perfect so far. And of course, unfortunately, I was asleep. Otherwise, I would have called it on my Twitter page or whatsoever. But unfortunately, I can't always react also once I'm asleep. I just can't tweet because I also have to get my rest. So for anyone who was awake and for anyone that was looking at the chart and was of course looking at the breakout and saw the perfect retest over here, and of course opened any positions on it, you did an amazing job here, of course, and congratulations if your orders are getting filled right now here, and if you're going to be, of course, already be in the profit. But more or less, I want to be talking about what we are right now looking at. What are we right now seeing here on the other time frames? Is the 1 hour time frame also already showing a continuation and a breakthrough? So before going in towards the symmetrical triangle, I would love to talk about, let me start talking about that 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin, right? So if I'm going to look at the 1 hour time frame, I still need to see a few things happening. First of all, I can clearly see Bitcoin on that 1 hour time frame broke this downtrend right here. You can clearly see that. So Bitcoin formed a downtrend on the 1 hour time frame, and you could also argue that we're looking at a W recovery structure, right? Because we're forming that resistance on the top side. We have that horizontal resistance range, and basically this is already a bullish bias pattern, guys. So no matter you don't think this symmetrical triangle is looking good or whatsoever, you don't like it to trade, look at this W pattern right here, because this W pattern is also suggesting a lot of bullishness is probably going to come for Bitcoin, right? You can see, first of all, downward slope resistance line got broken. Bitcoin already shows its strength over there. Then at the same time, it forms a double bottom on the lower side, a double bottom like you can see over here, with a beautiful top side rejection here on the middle. So basically, you can see clearly we are forming that left part of the W, the middle part of the W, right side of the W, and right now we come up again here. So let me make this yellow to make it give me another color. Let me make it blue. So you can clearly see it. This is, of course, a clear symmetrical triangle we're currently looking at. And I want to be giving it a good color. Let me make it white still. So you can clearly see this is, of course, a W recovery on Bitcoin right now on the 1 hour time frame. Together with, of course, a symmetrical triangle right here, it is looking actually pretty strong for Bitcoin. And of course, if we're going to look at the W, what are we right now going to be aiming for Bitcoin to do here in the coming hours, right? Because yeah, we are currently still trading against this resistance range for Bitcoin. Even though we already broke on the 1 hour and 4 hourly time frame, very critical resistance, there is one last job Bitcoin needs to do here in order to absolutely start flying towards the upside. And there's only one thing left, one resistance left for Bitcoin to be breaking right now. And that resistance I want to be seeing Bitcoin break is going to be this red box. So if Bitcoin decides to be breaking above the 30.6k, it can close a clear 1 hourly candle with, of course, a decent volume spike here above the 30.6k. I will be calling for, of course, this massive continuation for Bitcoin. I will be calling, of course, for, first of all, this move for the W time frame, and of course, for me, it will confirm my thoughts that the symmetrical triangle targeting $35,000 But I will be talking about that in a second from now on. So on this W time frame, on this 1 hour time frame, you can see this W is getting created. This W pattern currently has a price target around 6.4% towards the upside. So this is already a major trading opportunity. This is going to be a 6% trade here. And of course, how I will be approaching this, if you do want to be taking a trade on this, or if you do want to be expecting, okay, right now we confirm the breakout, is a close above. You're going to be aiming for the 6.1% target here on the 32.5k, and you're going to be setting a stop loss somewhere around the 1 and a 1.5%, because that's basically going to be meaning Okay, this is going to be a risk to reward of an approximately 5.5. There could also be a possibility Bitcoin is going to come down towards our upper sloping, downward sloping support line. Previous resistance where right now flips into support. Could also be a very good level to long end. But of course, only how I will be taking a long position right now is Bitcoin breaks bullish above this resistance box, goes for the retest, and then we are going to be expecting that move up, right? You're not going to be opening a long position without confirmation on all time frames. And currently, yeah, I am very bullish on Bitcoin for sure because the 4-hourly time frame is looking bullish, and we'll be talking about it in a second, guys. But that 1 hour time frame still needs to confirm that the W breakout, right? That breakout above that resistance box above here. So definitely very exciting what we can currently see on this market, on how it is going to be further on play out. But this is of course suggesting a lot of bullishness is about to come. Then talking about the 4-hourly time frame, right? So 1 hour time frame is already looking pretty strong, and especially if we are going to see that continuation in the coming hours for Bitcoin. But more importantly, what are we seeing right now on that 4-hourly time frame, right? We were looking at this symmetrical triangle here on the market. I clearly gave you guys a price target somewhere around the 35,000 US dollars. And of course, guys, we are right now, of course, breaking bullish, and we're going to be aiming for 34.4k approximately, since we broke out a little bit earlier than expected. But yeah, you can clearly see this is, of course, an extremely bullish breakout target. And look at this, if we're going to zoom out, this has been, of course, an approximately consolidation phase for Bitcoin around the 12 to 13 days. Yeah, 13 days, I can say. Bitcoin has been consolidating 13 days long. And it has been, of course, decreasing its volume in that period. And right now, finally, we're seeing a breakout. And of course, compared to yesterday, we are indeed seeing the volume really picking up a little bit here. Is this the best volume spike I've been expecting for such kind of a breakout? No. There are definitely better volume spikes here. So that is, of course, keeping myself a little bit cautious right here. And that is why I will be saying to you guys out there, please also look at that 1 hour time frame. Because since the volume is not very high, it's not an extreme high volume breakout for Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. I will say to you guys out there, okay, since the volume is not that extremely high right now, please look at that 1 hour time frame right here. And of course, take this as a W trade as well over here to, of course, get yourself an extra confirmation. Then, of course, really looking at that 4-hourly time frame, we've got still major resistance ahead of ourselves. And I will be talking about the 31.7k towards 32.3k. That is, of course, an extremely important range of resistance. It's basically this weekly support/resistance level. This weekly level, of course, previously around provided very strong resistance on Bitcoin. And of course, if we're going to look back in the past, this has been a level with a lot of historic price action on it. You can see it got rejected over here, flipped into support over here as well, and that really kickstarted the move here. So if Bitcoin is going to be forming a similar move here, so it's going to be pushing up here, it breaks above this level, goes for a retest. That is what I want to be seeing, right? So that's also, for now right on, I will be keep monitoring this level. So what I want to be seeing for the perfect scenario for Bitcoin to be breaking bullish is, of course, a break above that 32.2k, retest, continuation, of course, right? And that is also how last time around the market flipped bullish again here. So right now I will be taking that level as my main level to break for Bitcoin. Give me a second, guys, by the way. So, let me see what the chat also is saying. So yeah, we are having a pretty strong market right now here. And of course, if we're going to zoom out even further, we're looking at the 12-hour time frame. 12-hour time frame is also forming a symmetrical triangle, and we can clearly see this 12-hour time frame is also breaking bullish right now here. Of course, it's not confirmed yet here. We still have to wait another 4 hours. So, of course, if Bitcoin comes down right now here, we're probably going to form a fake out. But yeah, in the coming 4 hours, we're going to see potentially if we are going to confirm this breakout towards the upside, or potentially if we are going to not confirm this breakout towards the upside, right? So yeah, still waiting another few hours. They were clearly seeing which direction we're heading towards, but so far it looks to be that we're indeed spending some more bullishness on the market. You can also see clearly the RSI is climbing back up again. So that's pretty interesting to see right now for this market. Also, on the same time, on the daily time frame, we are forming very interesting developments, because on the daily time frame, first of all, we can argue about this RSI trend that we formed here on the market. We formed a downward sloping RSI trend over here, and you can clearly see we've got a lot of rejections from this level. We've got rejected not only once, twice, but 3 times in a row. And right now you can clearly see, since yesterday closing its candle into the green, we broke bullish. We broke bullish after our downward sloping RSI trend here on the daily time frame. Bitcoin broke this trend here, and right now this could be for sure spell some relief rallies for Bitcoin, because that's still the thing that we have not seen here. And for all the people that I see, many people are very bearish right now in the market, and people say, oh, please don't buy this breakout or whatsoever. I mean, it's only obvious that Bitcoin is going to create at least a relief rally. I think for all the bears as well, for the bearish case for Bitcoin, it would just make a lot of sense to not make the shorters so rich here, and for the whales to do so, to at least get a bounce towards 35 to 36k here, and potentially after that go for another leg down here, or potentially go for another move up towards higher reaches from up there on, right? So also for the bearish case, if we're going to be pumping up to 36,000 US dollars, I personally think it will make a lot of sense here. It is going to be definitely an area for a potential short, and of course, if Bitcoin is going to come up again here, right, to 36k, it's going to get rejected, and we're going to form and confirm that lower high here. It's going to start to look very dangerous, right? Bitcoin is from that point going to be looking very dangerous, and if I'm going to see this kind of a chart, I will be definitely stay away from the market a little bit more heavy. And of course, if I see this kind of a chart, Bitcoin could be, of course, go in an even more stronger correction towards the downside, and we could be looking at a little bit more heavy targets on the lower side. So yeah, that is very important to take in consideration. But of course, as long as we're not getting that rejection, I will be not, basically argue about that. So yeah, daily time frame is definitely showing a lot of interesting things here with this RSI breakout right now happening. Could spell a lot of bullishness for this market. Also, at the same time, if we're going to look at the MACD, we can currently see that we had that bullish crossover yesterday or 2 days ago already. And at the same time, right now, we're just confirming and continuing towards the upside right now. At the same time, for the Bitcoin chart, we are still having that bullish divergence on the daily time frame, only making it more likely to see a continuation towards the upside getting created. And for me, I wouldn't be actually to be surprised to see that move towards 35k getting created from here on. At the same time, guys, in hindsight, will it be once again so obvious that Bitcoin bounced from this region? I yesterday saw a tweet about it, and let me go towards that tweet here. Let me go over Twitter real quickly. Let me go towards my tweets and replies here, because I tweeted about it yesterday night. I responded about it, and Bitcoin Archive was saying here, will Bitcoin bounce off these levels for a third time? And maybe in hindsight, it will be seeming also obvious. And guys, will we be once again have a bounce from this range? And in hindsight, people will say, oh yeah, that was pretty obvious bounce. We were retesting the level where we already bounced from several times before. That could be just happening in like the near future, in the coming 2-3 months ahead of ourselves. We're going to argue about, oh, I wish I bought that support. I thought it was not going to hold, because many people always are going to have a too aggressive of a case, right? Many people are right now saying, oh, Bitcoin has to come down to 22k right away. But do take in consideration that, first of all, from high to low, Bitcoin dropped off over 70%, but also from this current trend we've been in, Bitcoin dropped over 47%. And usually after a 47 or at least above 40% correction, Bitcoin tends to be at least have a little bit of a recovery back towards the upside, because there's not such a huge amount of sell pressure left for Bitcoin around that 30k region. And why I'm saying so is because, first of all, I can clearly see on on-chain data that volume, sellers volume, is coming down massively. And at the same time, we of course do know there's been still a number of whales accumulating on this region, and you can clearly see a spike across the whales accumulating in this region where a price action is dropping massively. Of course, these are addresses holding more than 10,000 bitcoins, and of course, if you're holding more than 10,000 bitcoins, you're definitely a whale. Some people were saying, oh, that's not a whale, but 10k bitcoins is literally you're in the top 100 addresses of all bitcoins, so you're definitely a whale. So the top 100 addresses are increasing massively. There are currently approximately 95 of these 10k plus wallets out there in the market, and that is just making it extremely exciting to see what they are doing, because literally this is the proof that if you're selling right now, let's say you are selling your Bitcoin right now, this is the living proof that you're selling to a whale. Should you be selling to a whale right now? That's going to be the big question. I mean, I'm not liking that. So this is the living proof. Study this chart. We can clearly see Bitcoin, if you're going to sell it right now, you're selling towards whales or either large institutions. At the same time, guys, I call this a bear market as well, where we're currently in. Only a bear market doesn't necessarily have to last 2 or 3 years. And I see many investors right now tell to me, Rover, we're in a bear market and Bitcoin is just going to form new highs after 3 years. That is the only way, the only scenario we're looking at. And I think that's terrible to say. First of all, I think that Plan C pointed out this very well here. The real Plan C, let me see. I want to be discussing this chart also with you guys out there. I mean, I've been discussing this yesterday on my stream here, but I will be talking a little bit more in depth about it right now. And I've got a very important thing to look at what we have to be discussing right here. And I mean, he was saying, forget about the crypto market cycles. It's all about the risk. And I totally agree. I don't really think we have to be waiting another 3 years for new highs. I don't think we have to wait not necessarily another 2 years for new highs. We are currently just looking at risk levels. We have to be saying, okay, right now the risk is very high for Bitcoin, so we want to be staying away from it. We don't want to be buying it. We want to be distributing our Bitcoin because the risk is very high. If the risk is very low, that are the stages that you're going to dollar cost average. So right now, I personally think we are in dollar cost average stages, and I personally think it's a very good range for accumulating my Bitcoins at. I'm not saying Bitcoin can't fall lower, but I do think it's a good obvious range for accumulating my Bitcoins at. And then at the same time, guys, many people say this is a classic bear market. Bitcoin is going to be falling once again for another 3-4 years. But guys, this is the exchange balance for Bitcoin. And I have never seen a Bitcoin bear market where there is still a run on Bitcoin. Because what you can see is that people are still withdrawing more Bitcoin from exchanges, buying Bitcoin and withdrawing them, putting them through cold storage, making and resulting in less Bitcoin being available for buy and sell. And of course, if that is less available, the price is going to eventually have a supply shock. And the supply shock is what creates these massive run-ups. And that is also what happened. That is why we had this massive rally towards the upside right here. After the pandemic crash, basically after the halving, we saw a massive decreasement in the trend. Basically, the trend shifted around from Bitcoins rather than inflowing to exchanges to outflowing of exchanges, making Bitcoin creating a potential supply shock for Bitcoin. And that's also why we had that rally towards, yeah, let's say 69K eventually. And right now, while we are in a bear market that has to last for 3 years, what I don't think is true, we are still seeing more and more Bitcoin getting withdrawal from exchanges. And last time around in the bear market, there was a huge inflow of these Bitcoins in exchanges. And that basically showed us that, like, the ask stayed the same. The ask even declined here. That's what a bear market is, right? There's less interest, so the ask declines. But at the same time, the supply was increasing. So it was like an exponential thing that was happening. But right now what we're seeing is that the ask is declining, but the supply is also declining. So we're having like a mix of a supply shock right now happening in the middle of 2022, where equity markets are extremely fucked up, basically. There's big carnage in the world right now. But at the same time, I don't really call this a classic Bitcoin bear market. This time it's definitely different. We are having institutions interested in Bitcoin. We are having of course, that institutional investors like Tesla, MicroStrategy, all the other big ETF companies as well. And we're still seeing a run on Bitcoin. People are withdrawing their Bitcoins from exchanges and they're not leaving. And I mean, you just have to zoom out here and then coming back towards that risk level. Is it really worth to be waiting until Bitcoin is going to hit to 22K? And is it really worth that? I mean, for me, it's just more dollar cost averaging. I'm not going to go and wait to potentially not buy the dip here, because I think it's too risky for me to wait. I think it is way too risky for me to wait right now. At the same time, Bitcoin is really continuing its way up right here, guys. So let me continue my story, but I will be monitoring this chart as well. So guys, make sure to smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. But Bitcoin is really increasing right now once again. And we're closing in towards a potential breakout here on that 1 hour time frame. But I just think that this chart is definitely a chart to take into consideration. It's like you always want to be measuring in the risk. Do I think we necessarily have been bottoming out? I think we are very close to the bottom, or we bottomed out. That's what my prediction right now is here for Bitcoin, because we can just see the strength across the markets and also across equity markets. They have been very oversold, and many people say, oh, equity markets are going to fall even harder. But I don't really necessarily agree with that, because I think there were a lot of charts put out here that we were basically all back towards the pre-support level of the COVID crash, basically. So there's not necessarily going to be another massive crash here. And I think the big pain already came for equity markets and also for Bitcoin. And also the US doesn't want to risk it, because many of the US citizens are invested in equities, etc. And it will be basically kill all the wealth over there. So that is also a thing to take into account. But more importantly, like, the risk map. This is the risk map for Bitcoin. I just think you should be taking this in consideration. The risk is not extremely high, and yeah, make sure to be benefiting from it. Give me a second. So, Bitcoin, holy damn, guys. 25 incoming. Yeah, let's see, guys. So, I'm a little bit, how you say that? I catched a little bit of a cold, so that's why sometimes I run away, because I have to do some stuff. So, is this the relief rally only? That's not what I'm saying. I think initially we were going to call this a relief rally. Because initially it is going to be a relief rally, because Bitcoin came down 47%, and right now it's going to be moving up, right? So initially, yes, I will be calling this a relief rally, but in case Bitcoin does decide to be breaking above very important critical resistance ranges, it could be start to form, of course, in towards a new potential big rally, right? So I'm definitely going to long this rally. And I'm currently already long, because, yeah, I told you yesterday, I'm currently in the $3,000 profit, not all too big of a profit. You can see it over here. On Prime XBT, guys, I am, yeah, right now 3.5k in profit. Not the biggest profit, but of course I am aiming to take profits on 35k, and that's going to be an approximately like $15,000 trade if I will be, yeah, closed over there. So, for anyone who's interested in trading these breakouts, for anyone who's interested on an upcoming trade as well here, make sure to check out the link in the description, because in the link in the description, guys, you can claim a lot of free bonuses over here. Bybit currently offering you a $4,000 bonus, Femex 4,100, and Prime XBT is currently offering you a $7,000 deposit bonus. So make sure to check out these things in the link in the description. Definitely worth to check out right now, and look at Bitcoin going. Let's go. But as you know, the volume is definitely increasing right now. Let me go towards the right chart to check volumes, right? Coinbase volume is definitely turning up right now. That's good to see here. And look at this strong green candle, guys. I personally am expecting right now an even stronger continuation. Let me see what the Binance chart. Binance is also looking pretty decent. Still another 4 hours to go in this volume. So volume is pretty okay right now, actually. This, of course, the Bybit volume, and that's not necessarily to look at for breakouts, in my opinion. But yeah, we are having very strong volume coming in. But guys, look at this. In 33 minutes from now on, we're going to close the 1 hour candle. And if we do close the 1 hour candle above this red box here, guys, I think it's going to be game on for Bitcoin, because that will be confirming not only the 4 hourly breakout on the Bitcoin 4 hourly chart, but also this 1 hour W breakout where we have been talking about in the beginning of this video. So this is going to be, of course, an extremely exciting breakout that we could be looking for right now. And of course, more importantly, guys, look also how perfect this W structure is right now for Bitcoin, right? You form first this low in the market over here. So let me make this yellow. You can form one low in the market. After that, you formed a higher low in the market. So you're forming, first of all, that higher low structure that you want to be seeing across the W. And also in the W, you're forming a lower high in the middle point. And right now, you're breaking through with a higher high again. So this is, of course, one of the most perfect, the most beautiful Ws I've seen in a very long time. And I'm actually expecting that Bitcoin is going to be making a very significant follow-through from up this point here, if it does decide to be breaking out. And once again, going to clearly say it, guys, don't get faked out. We have to be waiting for that 1 hour breakout confirmation, because as long as we're not confirming the breakout with a 1 hour close above this range, we are not breaking out yet. Do take that in consideration. Bitcoin can still come down like it did last time around, right here. Big wicks on the top side, big wicks on the top side. And we could be right now potentially do the same once again. So please wait for the 1 hour close. But things are starting to look very good here. And that is, of course, making myself very exciting. Also, since everything is right now coming together, the 4 hourly breakout is coming together with the 1 hour breakout. And of course, this could be leading towards a massive short squeeze across the markets. Also, guys, take in consideration, looking at the market, look at this chart here. This is the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. This has been basically an upper sloping support line. Bitcoin has been holding up since the pre-COVID levels, right? We can see we have been holding up towards the support line, like you can see here, once, twice, 3, 4, 5. Only once we've been trading below it, and that was, of course, due to the pandemic crash. And that is why I don't really think we have to take this into account. This is just a thing that we count out of the charts, because otherwise Bitcoin would have been probably holding on towards this range, right? So you can see Upward sloping support line getting formed. Bitcoin also on the weekly time frame bounced from this upward sloping support line. This is absolutely a beautiful bounce that we got on the market. Of course, I wish we would have got this bounce from off this level. Of course, I've been expecting Bitcoin was going to be holding up towards this level, but unfortunately we didn't. We came below it. But so far, yeah, we're still holding and we're doing still pretty good. Yeah, so let's see what we're going to do. Let me see. DXY breakdown. I mean, let's talk about the DXY here. You can clearly see DXY is not necessarily having clear breakdown. It is getting rejected from the top side right now. You can see DXY is really moving down, and that's also really helping Bitcoin to come up right now here. You can see the DXY, of course, formed a little bit of a peak around at 105. Right now, of course, there are a lot of talks going around that the Fed is once again making a lot of promises, but probably not coming them true, right? We don't know exactly how much interest rates they're still going to be hiking. Maybe they have been talking too much here, really scaring off the markets. And that is why the DXY could be weakening right now over the coming weeks. Also, guys, if you don't know, every single exponential rally, the faster it runs up here, the faster it also can come down here. So you can clearly see we had an exponential rally towards the upside, right? The price went exponential for the DXY in this case. And of course, like you can see, once an exponential rally does break here, it can also fall very quickly. And of course, this is the chart of the DXY here. And in case the DXY does fall towards the downside, it does mean that equities are going to increase. It does mean that Bitcoin is going to increase because it got that inverted correlation with each other, right? If the DXY moves down, Bitcoin moves up. If the DXY moves up, Bitcoin moves down. So that is, of course, very good to see right now. Also on that weekly time frame, you can clearly see this is a solid rejection, and of course, if we're going to overlay the Bitcoin chart on top of this, we can clearly see that historically speaking, Bitcoin, accumulating Bitcoin, once the DXY is trading very high, has been historically being a very good accumulation range. And once again, guys, I mean, everything is coming together, and still many people say, no, I don't want to be buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still going to fall to 12K. Bitcoin is going to come down to 8K. Well, the risk levels are low, and the charts are coming together. Look at the USD tether dominance. The tether dominance is waiting on the sidelines to jump in the market, guys. We're currently having a 5.8% USD tether dominance, and historically speaking, always once the tether dominance is high, the chance that a potential rally towards the upside for Bitcoin is only bigger and bigger and bigger. And right now, once again, everything is coming together. DXY falling after a parabolic run up. We can see the risk levels are low for Bitcoin. I mean, everything is lining up right now, guys. So yeah, DXY weekly overbought. Yeah, I've not even looked at the RSI yet, but yeah, historically speaking, once the DXY is overbought on the weekly time frame, it tends to have a very strong rejection towards the downside. It tends to be moving down a little bit here, and yeah, you can clearly see it has been overbought, and it is time to come down for the DXY. And for people that really think that the DXY is strong, zoom out, because the DXY has historically always come down with time, and also more importantly, always once the DXY has been overbought on the 1 month time frame, it has clearly showed us it has been a very good time to step into our equities, to step into our, of course, not necessarily Bitcoin, because Bitcoin doesn't go back all the way down to 1983, but historically speaking, once the dollar index is overbought on the monthly time frame, it is a good position to shift around from your dollars to equities once again. So pretty interesting to check out here. Also, Bitcoin really on that weekly time frame, I think it is looking actually very strong right now, because if we're going to look at that weekly time frame, guys, and removing all the drawings and just purely let me remove the 200 weekly moving average and go back towards the logarithmic time scale, you can see that Bitcoin, of course, is currently trading on an RSI level, guys, that is absolutely mental to look at. This has been a mental RSI level. Bitcoin is trading on such low, oh, sorry, my face is in front of it. Bitcoin is trading on such low levels on the RSI that I once again come back towards my story. It is a risk to rewards range right now. Are you going to wait with dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin as it's going to hit 20K, as it's going to hit 22K? Do you really think that all these institutions are not dollar cost averaging? Those institutions are exactly dollar cost averaging. And you know why? It's because we have the pain in the market. We are having extreme fear in the market. And yesterday, once again, guys, I pointed it out on my video. Let me go back towards this on my I pointed this out on my Twitter page. I talked about that Bitcoin whales like to accumulate once the fear is in the market, and we can see it. Fear has been ruling over the past weeks on the market, and we have never seen such big of an increase across the number of Bitcoin whales. And still, I just don't get it why many people are still so extremely bearish on the market. Well, this is the time to, of course, diversify our risk a little bit here and really take the look at the other side as well. At the same time, I've been talking about the max pain, basically, the pain that we're currently experiencing in the market due to the high fear, of course, and also due to the realized loss. I've been talking about this several times before. Realized loss is always indicating when a bottom is in, when a bottom is usually over, and whether we can start to see a new trend emerge, because the realized loss always spikes after a massive downtrend came. Then the massive drop comes, then the big pain hits, because like you can see also in the previous downtrends, right? Bitcoin falling down, there's not a lot of people that really are selling against the loss, but then out of nowhere we are getting a steep correction towards the downside. Many investors sell against the loss, approximately $3 billion getting sold against the loss every single day in approximately for a period of a week. That is massive pain, guys. Massive amount of people are selling against the loss, what is of course making it for us profitable, because people have to sell against the loss for other investors to make a profit. That is always how it works. There are always losers on one side and there are winners on the other side. And that is why I'd rather stay on the side from the winners, because the winners, of course, are going to be the ones that are going to be making profits. And looking at the market right now, we have seen, and guys, this is just on-chain data analysis. This is so important in these markets where the market is down. Many people tend to be looking away from Bitcoin, tend to be looking away from the charts, tend to be looking away from the on-chain data, what is literally the most important data points to look at right now, because we can clearly see the on-chain data is right now telling us the max pain, the big hit in our chest from the market drop already came, because the most amount of money already got flushed out of the market. The weekends got flushed out of the market, and that is this chart. It is literally telling us the weekends got flushed out. And since the weekends got flushed out right now, we want to be looking at that next stage on the market, and that is just always how it works. And once again, coming back here, I've never seen a bear market with high amount of accumulation for Bitcoin bills, because if I'm going to look back at 2018 bear market. Let me zoom this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. This is the bear market. In the bear market, we saw whales distributing. Look at this. This is the whale chart, right? This is the 10K plus whales. You can see steep correction towards the downside. Why? Is because they were dropping on you, because they were also afraid at that point. Whales were afraid, and after that they start to be accumulating again, and price action went up again, right? You can see they accumulated along the way top, and then the price came down again. Right now it's different. Right now it's so different. First of all, in the strength, the whales distributed their tokens, and right now in the weakness, guys, in the weakness of the chart, and this is completely different than 2018 bear market, and people are still comparing these markets to each other. Well, in 2018 we were not having these institutional investors in the market, but right now you can see there's institutional interest, there's high inflation in the world, people are looking for a safe bet, and that is not cash. Cash is not your safe bet, and they are loading up here. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we are right now literally in a super cycle. It is definitely making a lot of sense for me, because right now the world is there's going to be a very big recession probably coming around here. And if that does happen, what is Bitcoin going to do? We don't know. And the only thing that I do know that I want to be doing here is to stack as much Satoshis as I possibly can here, because that is my own goal, because I believe in the future of Bitcoin, and I will be never stop accumulating more Satoshis, right? So, whether Bitcoin falls down even further, I will be buying more. If Bitcoin comes up even, very into strength, I will be probably distribute a little bit here to diversify my portfolio, maybe to a little bit more watches, maybe to a little bit more to real estate, other kinds of things, right? Because that's also what I did in the recent run-up. And right now, what I want to be doing myself here, because I think that my mistake is that I was holding still too much Bitcoin and USD Tether in the market. And the next run-up, what I will be doing is diversifies more towards real estate, diversifies more to watches, because I think that's a very good investment to do right now. So that's going to be my strategy. Of course, I'm talking for myself right now. I don't know how your financial situation is, but make sure that you have a strategy ready for once the market does pick up again, what you want to be doing here. And say to yourself, maybe, once the fear and greed index hits 90 on greed, we should start to distribute again, right? So you can clearly see always once it is high, it's good time to distribute, guys. It is always good. It's always a good period for selling. And right now, once it is an extreme fear, it's always been a good time to be buying. And we're very close to a single-digit level on the fear and greed index. Absolutely crazy to take in account, right? So, yeah, many things are coming together right now here, and it is just getting myself so freaking exciting, guys. Let me see. 20 minutes and we enter shorts. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, shorting a breakout is not necessarily my strategy here. Right now, we're still getting rejected. So, yeah, you could argue if we're not going to be breaking out, yeah, you could be opening a short. I am not a very big fan of shorting a W. Because a W is one of the most strongest reversal signals on the market, especially if you're seeing a 1 hour W getting created and a 4 hourly breakout on the symmetrical triangle getting created is not one of my most favorite positions to be shorting a market. So yeah, of course, do your own research, but yeah, make sure to do whatever you would like to do. Real estate is the next bubble that will be popping. I do think, indeed, it's a pretty big bubble right now. But it depends on which country you're talking about, because every single country has a little bit of its other real estate things here. And I think that like some countries are still very good for investing in, like I think like Mexico is a very good country to invest your real estate in my opinion. I think there's a lot of potential to be making money from. So also for like the rent is pretty high over there. So yeah, real estate is a pretty big bubble, but it is in certain areas, like in big towns or in big cities. It's really a bubble that is right now bursting. And yeah, I mean, if the demand stays very high, the price will also stay high, right? And yeah, we just have to wait how that's going to be unfold. I've got one advisor for me that got myself into some projects. So yeah, let's see what it is going to be doing here. So let's see what we're going to have here. Let me also check out the Bitcoin dominance, because let me see who is asking about. Toncoin Lover is asking me about the Bitcoin dominance. Now let's talk about the Bitcoin dominance for a second, because yeah, first of all, let's not talk about the Bitcoin dominance. Let's talk about the altcoin dominance, right? So this is the chart for the altcoin dominance. I rather like to look at the altcoin dominance than the Bitcoin dominance, even though it's the same chart, only inverted. I think it's just a little bit more easier and more fun to read. So yeah, once we're talking about this chart, I've been already calling for the breakdown approximately 2 weeks ago. What we can see on this chart is that basically altcoins, of course, broken trend that was basically a trend of 1,300 days towards the upside, and you can clearly see, yeah, we broke this trend towards the downside, and right now I'm aiming for an altcoin dominance to drop from 55% to 48%, what means that I'm expecting that the Bitcoin dominance is going to increase towards 52%, and that's basically this target over here. 52% is this target over here. I'm expecting that Bitcoin is at least going to create that continuation towards higher ranges, towards this yellow range over here, because this previous support range, like you can see over here, will probably provide at least some resistance for Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin is pretty strong right now, if you would ask me here. You can clearly see it broke this downtrend, and right now I'm just expecting to see a little bit more of strength for Bitcoin to come towards the market. So yeah, it would make a lot of sense for the Bitcoin dominance to increase. Also, we're creating some kind of a falling wedge pattern over here. This is just also suggesting there's just more strength for Bitcoin right now in the market. And after seeing that huge pain coming for all these Luna investors, many other altcoins investors are also seeing, okay, altcoins are maybe a little bit more risky in these uncertain markets. So they are shifting their altcoins back to Bitcoin, but also there could be, like, if we really want to be seeing the Bitcoin dominance increase, I think we have to see another big downfall for Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin falls very hard, let's say another 10%, altcoins are probably going to bleed at 20-25% once again. So yeah, if we really want to be seeing the Bitcoin dominance spiking massively, I think we are going to be necessarily have to see another big correction. But there could be also a possibility that Bitcoin is going to lead the next rally, but I think it's a little bit less likely, also taking in consideration right now Ethereum is right now testing their merge on a testnet. It's happening on the 8th of June, and probably in August, Ethereum is going to be, of course, release the merge update. The merge hard fork update on the network will basically make Ethereum a completely proof of stake network, what is extremely bullish for Ethereum. And it's going to be help the scalability of Ethereum. Of course, it's not necessarily going to be improving the transaction speed here. It will make Ethereum deflationary, completely deflationary. And at the same time, it will help Ethereum to come that a little bit closer towards Ethereum 2.0. So yeah, that could be also a pretty positive driver for altcoins in towards August. So yeah. take that in consideration, guys, right now, what we are seeing over there. Solana is not really a coin that I like here. You can clearly see what Solana has been screwing over. Let me go to this chart here. But Solana, I've been talking very negatively, I've been not talking that positively about Solana for a while. I've been not talking very good about it on the top side, but it made a lot of sense in the end of the day, because Solana got a lot of security breaches. It's a network that's not good. It's not a good network. They have a lot of issues, a lot of transaction speed issues, a lot of transaction errors. I mean, Solana, they say it's the Ethereum killer, but they are not really ready for handling that volume that Ethereum is currently doing, right? So, no, I am not a big fan of Solana. Of course, potentially in the future, it could still come up again. It is trading on very low levels, so accumulating a little bit would make a lot of sense, but rather what I would do here is look at different coins. I think that if Bitcoin is going to drop again here, there are a certain amount of altcoins that are going to fall very hard that I'm talking about in the top 10. And the altcoins that, let's say Bitcoin is going to have another big crash, there are a few altcoins that are going to fall very hard. And I will be calling them right now. It is going to be XRP, Cardano, Solana, and Dogecoin. That are going to be the top 10 coins that are going to fall the hardest if Bitcoin decides to fall once again towards the downside right here. So yeah, make sure to do your own research. I am not a huge fan that Solana is also up 7% right now. It doesn't really deserve it, but yeah, look back at the 7 day, right? 7 days still down 0.5%, while Ethereum and Bitcoin are still up on the 7 days. So yeah, Solana is definitely not one of my strongest altcoin picks right now here, and I should definitely stay also a little bit, be a little bit more cautious with this one, of course, right? Pretty important to take in consideration. So yeah, you can also see on the 90-day, Solana has been down 34%, and Bitcoin and Ethereum only down 18% to 17%, right? So yeah, Solana is definitely taking one of those more bigger hits on this market right here. How would that mean Ethereum killed Young Millionaire? What do you mean? Oh, you're talking to someone else in the chat. Solana will kill Ethereum and take over the market cap. It also will bring you fatter gains than Ethereum. And what is your definition? Why do you think, please explain me a little bit, why do you think Solana is going to overtake Ethereum? Because I'm very interested in that story. Many people say Solana is going to be the Ethereum killer, but if I then look at the strength of the Solana network, if I look at the errors that Solana makes on their network, it is not even close to become the killer of Ethereum. I don't know if you have done a lot of research on Solana, but literally Solana is, of course, Ethereum is also not decentralized, but Solana is even less decentralized than everything. This is the less decentralized token I've ever seen. At the same time, they're rolling back transactions many times a day here because transactions get stuck here. You send your Solana, and the transaction gets stuck, and your Solana is stuck in the network, and you don't have anything. You just lose a lot of money out of nowhere in the network because they have a lot of difficulties in that. Besides that, they have a lot of hacks. Their security is not on point on Solana. It's not, like, if you want to be losing your money on a network, you should definitely use Solana. So if those things like security and transaction security, if that's already not good, it's definitely not going to be Ethereum killer. And this really reminds me back of 2017, where we saw so many Ethereum killers coming around in the market. Well, of course, many of these Ethereum killers all failed, and of course they fail every single time, and you can really see it in these periods where Bitcoin is having a little bit of a bigger of a hit here. There are only a set amount of altcoins that survive, and you can see Luna crashed to zero because why? It's a Ponzi. It's not worth it. It's not good enough of a project. You can see Ethereum and Bitcoin holding up very well. You can see BNB also holding up very well. Look on this on the 90-day, only down 8%. Why is BNB holding up so well? Is because they have high cash flows. They have high cash flow. They have a high developer team. It's a strong network, and it's of course a project that's really working on some great things for the future, right? So it is holding up right now. It's a good project, and that's also why I told you guys, be very picky with your altcoins and don't buy into every single freaking altcoin out there in the market right now. You can see what coins are taking a little bit more of a harder hit. It's XRP, it's Cardano, it's Solana. Why? Is because those are the networks that have been proving us that they are not the strongest. And that is, once again, you can see that the shift of guard right now really happening. I personally think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB are going to stay in the top 5 coins for the coming 3 to 4 years. That's my prediction. And I think that BNB is one of the most legendary investments, no financial advice, you can make today. I think, yeah, BNB is already trading on $53 billion US market cap. People say, oh, but I can't make a 100x from here on. No, you probably won't make a 100x in the coming 4 years. No, you probably won't. But it is a pretty good risk to reward investment. You can easily make a 10 to 15x with BNB by buying it today and maybe potentially selling it in 4 or 5 years from now, right? Maybe even more. I'm saying very conservative things here right now. But I think BNB is a very good altcoin to look at right now, in my opinion. And many of these altcoins are going to fail, so be careful with them. Can Ethereum overtake Bitcoin? Probably it can, because Ethereum got a bigger use case, and Ethereum is basically, like I told you, have got a bigger use case. But the only point I'm trying to be making here is that I don't really think it's going to be happening in the coming 4 years. And Bitcoin is like we've got gold, and we've got Bitcoin. You know, gold is also not used for like building a network. You know, those kind of things. It's a very bad comparison. I'm sorry, but I think that Bitcoin will stay always very high, and there could be a potential that Ethereum can overtake it because the use case is bigger, but it's not going to happen in the coming 5 years. That's my prediction. Ethereum could overtake Bitcoin, but it will most certainly take another 5 to 6 years. I'll also get crushed in bear markets. Winters much more talk. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. In crypto winters, altcoins are getting crushed. It's always happening. And I'm not saying not always all altcoins are getting crushed. And if really that bear market or crypto winter, however you want to call it, does come, right? I mean, we are in a short-term bear market. We don't know how long this bear market will last. Maybe this bear market only lasts for another 30 days. Maybe this bear market will last for another year. We don't know exactly. But in bear markets, historically speaking, altcoins are very good to accumulate. Of course, they swing also more and more heavily. I bought Cardano for below 3 cents, and I distributed all my Cardano live on my stream once it hit $3. That was a crazy flip I made, a crazy flip, 100x altcoin within 2 years, because I bought Cardano approximately somewhere around 2019, and it hit around $3 in 2021. That was one crazy flip. You had so much time to be buying it. I mean, if there really is a crypto winter, you will be having a lot of time, guys. You will be having a lot of time. And buying those altcoins in the crypto winter, you have to buy the right altcoins. It will be probably not load up so much on Cardano in the next bear market. That's probably my expectation. But most certainly, I'm going to load up on some altcoins that have the potential to grow out to one of the largest altcoins out there, right? So, yeah, pretty interesting. So I want to check the Bitcoin Cme chart. Let me go over the Cme chart for sure. That's definitely very important to check out here. I have it open over here. So this is the Bitcoin Cme chart. We've got still some many gaps here across this market, right? We've got this gap above us. Excuse me. We've got a gap above us between 34K and 36K, but we also got a gap below us. And this gap below is currently, of course, around the 29K towards the 30K. So yeah, we've got a CME gap below us right now. Will we be filling it? That's going to be the question. We also have still a CME gap down towards 9.7K. Yes, I look at CME gaps. Bitcoin tends to be filling up CME gaps, but it doesn't always necessarily have to be filling up CME gaps. That is a very important part to know about CME gaps. They usually tend to get filled, not necessarily they have to get filled. Also, at the same time, guys, I want to be asking you guys one small little favor. Can you guys smash up the like button, and more importantly, smash up the subscribe button? Because guys, on the recent days, it has been very quiet out there on the channel. It has been very quiet on YouTube. And I mean, I still want to be reaching that that sick goal of 100,000 subscribers. So guys, if you would love to help me, make sure to smash up the subscribe button. It's for you, of course, a very small will be not take a lot of effort, but you will be absolutely mean the world to me if you can smash it up here. I mean, every single one of you guys that did subscribe to the channel, I love you with everything I have in my heart. So hopefully, guys, if you do want to be supporting the channel, make sure to smash up the like button. Only going to take a few seconds of your time, and you will be mean the world to me. So yeah, pretty cool. But by buying altcoins that have crashed, it can give very good rewards. Like Cardano, it can come back. Of course, for sure, altcoins that crash very hard can come back very quickly. But I really like to be buying altcoins that not even have pumped yet here. And like comparison to Cardano, yeah, it has been pumping a little bit here back in 2018. And of course, it came down, big bear market, and it came up again, right? But I just don't really like the team of Cardano because they take so long with developing their projects, right? So also with BNB, I bought BNB on $14 and $12. I could have bought it cheaper. My friends were buying it even cheaper, below that $5. I bought it after this initial rally over here back in 2018. And you know why I bought BNB, guys? Because I will explain it to you guys out there. You know why I bought BNB? And I will give you guys right now very good buys for the coming 4 or 5 years. Let's say 2 to 3 years. I bought BNB. Since I said to myself, I always talk to myself. Also, once I'm in the mirror, I say a few things to myself. I think it works very good for your development. But I bought BNB because I said to myself, I think BNB is going to grow out to one of the largest altcoins out there, since Binance is already the largest cryptocurrency exchange. And if a bull run comes, it's going to be Binance that's going to grow massively. And while I was doing my research, I saw that BNB has one of the largest developer teams out there from all cryptocurrency projects. What is absolutely crazy, because if you have so much developers, there's probably something good coming out of it. And then we of course had the BSC chain that was absolutely blowing up everything, of course, that blew up BNB for sure. But yeah, invest in products that will be staying for the future. So once I'm talking about it, I'm also buying FTX right now. I'm buying FTX because why? FTX is growing out to also one of the largest exchanges in the US. And this is crazy. I mean, this, of course, it's right that doesn't maybe look so attractive for you, but this coin can easily do. And looking at the market capitalization currently have $4 billion US dollars, it can easily do a 5x towards the end of the year if we're going to get a positive Q3 and Q4, right? It could also fall down a little bit more, but for me, it's worth the dollar cost average in towards this coin. I think this is a very good coin to look at. They also have very high cash flows. They have a very big customer base. They have a very high customer base on their platform, and that's why I think it will be succeeding, right? So FTX is very good, just like BNB in my opinion, and so you should be very picky with altcoins. So if FTX ever comes below $10, I mean, I will be not go all in, but I will be buying even more, right? So definitely very exciting. Bitcoin, of course, still currently getting rejected by our resistance target on the top side. Let's see how it is going to be playing out. Maybe we have to wait another hour for a potential breakout here on this W reversal structure for Bitcoin. Maybe it will be taking another few hours, but definitely, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now, because I will be sticking with you guys out there. Even though we're not breaking out right now, I will be jumping live always with you guys out there on the channel if we do decide to be breaking bullish or whatsoever, right? So make sure to smash up the subscribe button right now on the channel. It will be definitely highly appreciated. So let me go further. It could definitely catch up to BNB, and that is also my point I'm trying to be making. And if we're comparing FTX to BNB, so this got a 4.2 billion market capitalization, and BNB currently has around 25. So 50. So that's already a 15x, right? So no, sorry, 12x. That's already a 12x if FTX is going to catch up towards BNB. 12x is pretty insane. That's like 12x your money. It's not bad, right? So please be very picky with your altcoins. And of course, don't take any advice of me. Do your own research. But these are, of course, definitely very big opportunities. Also, I think VeChain is going to perform very good. Also with their stablecoin, they don't have an algorithmic stablecoin. They have a stablecoin, VeChain USD, VUSD. Let me see. Their stablecoin is pretty good. And they, of course, don't have an algorithmic stablecoin. That's why I like. And that's why I think that also the potential for VeChain is so big. I bought VeChain so while ago, very while ago. Also in the bear markets, I bought a lot of VeChain, and of course the run up, of course, was absolutely mental for VeChain. What it did perform like, and how it blew up towards the sky. Of course, this is also one of those altcoins that is probably still going to be performing very good. Maybe you have been not buying the exact bottom. For me as well, I have not bought the exact bottom. I have bought in the bear market low here. I have been distributing a little bit in the way up. But also, all the money I distributed with, I'm currently buying back in towards VeChain again here. It's already got 74% of its circulating supply out there, so it's probably not going to have, it is not going to have high inflation anymore from here on. And it just makes me very exciting about this project. I think it has a lot of potential. It can also really reach that $1 target eventually. I personally am very highly convinced by that. It's right now at 34 altcoin. It's on P34, only 2 billion market cap. It has really potential to do 20 to 30 X's here in towards the coming 2 to 3 years from here on. So yeah, be picky with your altcoins. Don't take any advice. Do your research, because the reason why I talk positively about VeChain is because I like their fundamentals. I think the fundamentals are very strong, and that is why I'm talking about it, right? And I think they can also solve a lot of issues apparently in the world right now, with of course all these supply chain issues, and that's why inflation is running up high. VeChain could be the perfect coin to be solving those issues. So be very picky with them. Let me see. There's a discussion going on in the chat here. Solana has been outperforming Ethereum since it's been invented. Ethereum killer with big gains. I mean, it's not about the gains. And Speed is streamer. I definitely agree with you what you're saying out there, because it's not all like if Dogecoin is outperforming Bitcoin, is Dogecoin better than Bitcoin? Guys, really? Is Dogecoin a better store of value if it outperforms Bitcoin? Is that really the case? And it's also really a case of market capitalization. So, I mean, that is definitely not a thing that I should be taking in consideration. Ethereum gas fees are robbing you guys. Solana has no gas fees. I mean, Ethereum gas fees are very low right now. First of all, it's like 50 cents a transaction. Yesterday, I sent 3 Ethereum for 50 cents, guys. This is crazy. The most cheapest transaction I've ever sent with Ethereum. More importantly, I'd rather pay a little bit more for my gas fees to actually have a safe transaction rather than using Solana to have higher fees. And also, like, Solana is literally a ripoff of Ethereum. They completely stole their source code. Only since Ethereum already has a very, very big network, it's harder to transfer everything to proof of stake. And since Ethereum cares about your security, it takes a little bit longer. And since Solana just cares more about price and Solana cares more about gaining with the hype, they of course release their product very quickly, but like you can see, it has a lot of issues. Millions or even billions of dollars in the recent years got hacked with Solana. Solana has been one of the not strong security networks, and I know for sure that big rich individuals rather store their wealth in Ethereum than using Solana. So yeah, I mean, many people, maybe you will disagree here, and I also got a fat ton of hate over it. I mean, you say maybe, yeah, Solana outperformed Ethereum, but if we're going to look from high to low, Solana is down. Let me quickly check this up here. Solana is down approximately from high to low, and it is of course a massive decreasement. I can already guarantee you. Solana is down an approximately, let me see this correctly. Maybe it increased, but it is down currently 79% from all-time high. And if we're going to look at Ethereum, how much is it from all-time high right now? It is 56%. So while you've been holding Solana, you have lost 20% extra. So yeah, maybe it has been performing better, but it is Ethereum is definitely outperforming Solana right now. Let me see for. And look at this. This is the Solana compared to Ethereum comparison. Solana has only lost value against Ethereum in the recent weeks. It's not really gaining strength. It's only losing your strength. It's only losing more strength. So I don't know necessarily if this is going to be your best pick. Look at this. This is the Solana against Ethereum pair. It's only losing value. Solana centralized, got it. Yeah, indeed. It's the most centralized organization I've ever seen. True. So yeah, let's see what we're having. Bitcoin, of course, closed its 1 hour candle, not breaking above the range high. Unfortunately, we have to wait maybe a couple more hours before we're going to do so. So of course, guys, if we do break bullish, I will keep you guys up to date. First of all, not only on YouTube, but also here on my Telegram channel in the link description, and of course on my Twitter, which you can find the link to also in the description, where you can also see, of course, me talking about other cool things here. So make sure to follow me also on Twitter. Will be highly appreciated if you can do so. Sol is exposed, but I mean, I've been always not a hater, but I've always never liked Solana. I've never liked Solana, and you can literally go back towards my streams because I can guarantee you. I mean, I've been streaming for a very while right now on the crypto market, and many people have been talking about Solana over here. I mean, no one was stopping talking about Solana, and I've always said I am not a huge fan of Solana, and of course, eventually that came down hard, very hard. And of course, I mean, I've bought Solana. I can't deny that, but I've sold it way too quickly. And I also said on my channel, I sold it here on $200. I sold all the Solana on $200. I thought for a beginning I was right, but then of course it increased to 270, 260. And there, of course, I distributed, there I was holding nothing. And after that, it distributed all the way down towards 53, right? So eventually, did I make good profits with Solana? Yes. Will I be buying it right now? No, I'm still staying away from it. I don't really like it. It could be bouncing massively, but if Bitcoin comes down here, what all these bears are saying in the chat, Solana is going to be one of the more bigger hits, of course, right here. Of course, Solana is trading on a very strong demand zone. So yeah, if you wish to be buying Solana, I think 48 to 47 US dollars is a pretty good range. Let me see. Elrond potentially could buy. I think Elrond is a very good buy. Elrond is a very good buy. I mean, it has been losing a lot of its support levels. It is right now coming down towards this support range over here, previous resistance. But yeah, EGLD is one of my more topper picks here on the market. Because I just purely love the protocol and I love the project. But yeah, we were just once again also on very low stage for EGLD, and I just would love to see EGLD fall even down further. I want to be seeing it down to $5 or something, right? So I can accumulate very cheap EGLD. But so far, yeah, can it fall lower? It really depends on Bitcoin right now, guys. So yeah, I can talk about all kinds of altcoins, but just focus on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does decide to break bullish, altcoins are going to lift on it. If Bitcoin comes down further, altcoins are going to fall also. So that's my main focus right now. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching towards this amazing stream back here on the channel. It was an absolutely pleasure to be your guest once again today here, but right now, unfortunately, I have to be heading out right here. And guys, I will be back another time later today. I can guarantee you guys, I will be back if Bitcoin does decide to be breaking above this W structure, if Bitcoin does decide to be breaking bullish above the 30.6k, continue, of course, also with this symmetrical triangle breakout, I will be jumping back live with you guys out there. And maybe it's going to be in 1 hour, maybe in 2 hours, maybe 4 hours. I will be trying to jump back live as soon as possible. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in towards this amazing new stream here on the channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one back here on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to claim your free bonuses in the link in the description. And guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.